Hey guys, boys, kind of mix guys and gals together there. Another day at the pond. Another day at the pond. What's up, Julian or Justin? Sorry, hanging at the pond, looking for the carp. Figure the bass are being so crappy. I'd come down here and see if I can catch some big, huge carp again. Well, nothing yet. Just actually sort of started fishing. Had my line out for about a half hour, but no bites yet. The birds have been fed. And well, I don't know, it's so on and off here now. When I first came, it was Carp Central. And I showed up for that one live and it was carp. The next live, nothing. The next live, crawdads and turtles. I've seen a few carp jump. There were a million people out here on their paddle boats earlier. I think they shut it down around. Seems like they shut down around like 6:30. I don't know. I've never fished for carp over there. I fished for bass over there, but I've never fished for carp over there. This has sort of been the winter spot. Not winter, but winter spot. Plus, this is where most people come and feed the birds. All right. Why the heck am I getting notifications? There were actually a bunch of people here actually feeding the birds. All of the Canadian geese came over here. There was people up there in their car feeding them, and then some other people that came just down from me. A lady and her little son or grandson, and they fed them for a while. Hey, what's up, Bill? What's up, Bill? Just hanging here for the carpy. Hopefully, I get some of them and not crawdads or turtles. I haven't seen the turtle yet. Last time I was here, he was cruising all over out there. But, I said I saw a few carp jump to my left. I think I saw another one, smaller one, come up over there. Plus, I saw some of the hitch jumping. But I don't really know. Yesterday was casting practice. Today is line watching practice. That's just kind of the way it goes. Wasn't going to go back to Pinot after the way it's been, and didn't have time to drive all the way to like Coyote Creek Lakes. So I figured I'd just pop down here and see if I can wrangle some carp. I mean, if I just get one good one, it'll last for like 20 minutes. That's usually how long the fight lasts. It's not like a 2 minute fight like the bass and that. It'll, especially if it's a good like 15, 18 pounder. I'll be fighting it for a long time. I think my jinx says I went to the clear line. Whole time I was using that old green line, I was doing really good. The last time I caught a carp was on the green line. I switched to the white line and I caught all those crawdads and that turtle. Can't really see him being that sensitive in here. I wish the wind would set down. I mean, the wind's not that bad. Since I do keep my line loose, it's blowing back and forth. I mean, it doesn't really matter. If something takes it, it's going to straighten it anyway. We got the fog back. The fog is just starting to come in. It's pretty much sunny till about 15 minutes ago or something like that. Suddenly, all the fog started rolling in. Can't remember what's better, sun or fog. Alley should matter. They're carp. If they're around, they should eat. I tried a few casts a lot further out just to see. I kind of went mid range. Now I'm kind of in close. But so far, not even not nothing. There's been nothing that's played with my line. I'd like to see at least some crawdads or something play with it. Something to let me know they're here. Whoa. Yeah, that's more level. Yeah, just one good pull, one good run. Something to let me know something's here. Or a bunch of them start jumping out there. There was a lot of paddle boat action today. I think at one point I counted 15, 16. Wait, what? No, I don't. It's only 4 feet deep out there. Pretty sure I'd see them cruising around on that or anything. I mean, they're around. Just a matter of waiting for them to come by. This spot's already, I've already caught like 20 here. And Shaggy and Nico, they've caught like 15 or 20 here. So it's a known spot for them to cruise around. So I was kind of thinking of going that way maybe, but I haven't seen any jumping that way. The jumping I've seen has actually been a little bit to my left, and there were a couple of came up over here. One that came up over here. Oh yeah, I'm always up for fishing. It's got to hit it on the right wind. Oh, look at that, guys! Right there, right there. That was the tail of a carp that just came up right against the wall. I just went all of a sudden I saw its tail like flipping, and then it took off. I don't think it was the turtle. It looked like a tail come out of the water, right up against the wall. Yeah, I'm down for the pier. It's been so windy still. It's been 14, 15, 20-mile-an-hour winds. Another carp just came up right there. Wasn't a huge one, but there's another carp just came up right over there. I could probably actually cast from here to there. Oh, I don't know if that was the wind or not, but my line just looked funny. I think it was the wind. No? Mm, now I can't tell. I think it's the wind. Looked like it was tightening up, but no. Just the angle I'm watching it from. It went this way with the wind, and it looked like it was going straight. It keeps doing it. It's like, yeah, it's just the angle, the way the wind blows it. It looks like it's going straight. But yeah, something just came up right there, and I'm pretty sure it was a carp because I haven't seen the turtle around at all. The one that jumped over there was definitely a carp. So fish are in the area. I just need them to start munching. Yeah, I said there was like I counted 15 paddle boats on the pond at one point. It's like it was go paddle around a pond day. Some good money. I don't even know how much they rent them for. Hey, big worm, I'm back looking for Big Bertha. Everybody else has hooked this monster that's supposedly in here. The monster that goes to the middle of the lake and then you can't move it. So it heads straight over there towards that bench and that trash can. And it gets in the middle and then it just never moves again. They all think it's a big catfish, but I don't know. I know there are channel catfish in here. Yeah, I said yesterday was casting practice. Today is line watching practice. Although my line hasn't done jack diddly crap since I've been here. I just want to see some sort of inkling of something in the area active. Besides the beach bum, 831, how's it going? Hit that like button. Check out everybody else. Yeah, I'm not good at that stuff. I'm not a good like auctioneer. I just rather fish and talk to people and hopefully catch fish. Catch a monster. I said if I just hook one, it's gonna be like a 15, 20 minute fight if it's a good size. First thing it's gonna do, of course, is take off like 30, 40 feet of line. And my drag is set this time. So hopefully if I do hook one, I don't break it off. Yeah, I don't know, all the bass has just been so slow. Another pop up. So I don't know how JJ's fishing Guerrero did. He was supposed to go out there today with his son. And he usually films. Hey, right to bear, how's it going? Welcome to Line Watching 101, the search for Big Bertha. It's like my line's tighter than it was during all that. Whoa, Jesus. Yes, guys, first hit. Look at, now the line is just staying completely tight. Look at that, it's tight as can be. And it rocked my friggin' pole. No luck at Alma. Quick one, Alma. Look at that. I don't think that was a crawdad because it bounced and that line is just staying completely tight. Suppose there's bluegill in here. I better check it. Oh, I don't know. I kind of felt a tap at the end. I hope that wasn't a freaking crawdad. Checking the line. Hey, KLG, how's it going? Looks like one of the corns is eaten. That's not good. One corn looks eaten on. No. Just had my first sign of activity. Uh, I don't know. It looked like one of the corns was kind of eaten. That's not what you want. It actually pulled it tight and it bounced it. Yep, back here at El Estero. Seeing if I can hook into that big, huge fish that everybody else is hooked into that they can't land. But yeah, I just had it actually bounced it, tightened the line. I mean, the bass fishing is just not going well. Pretty much. When it's when I get like one fish, one bite in 3 weeks, fishing maybe every day. I think most people that catch them here actually catch them where it's illegal on the other side of on the other side of the bridge. I said I've caught a few in here, or I've caught one in here. I physically had one in my hand, one had dropped off, and I think like five other bites. That's it. And I think I've probably blanked what like 4 or 5 times. No, they're not hard pressure at all. Nobody fishes for them. There's just not many in here. I said today there's not a single person fishing. Not a single person fishing. Most days you go by here, there's like nobody here. There's just not many in here. There's nothing out there. It's all just 6 feet deep, kind of flat. There's that island right there. That island, I'm sure there's probably freaking so many bass around that thing. I don't even know if there's. I think it's water all the way through it, or not much. Yeah, almost every time I'm here, there's nobody here. People come and try, and then they leave. There's a few people that say they catch. They've caught like 4 or 5 in a day here, but I've, I've never. I mean, I spent like 10 years fishing here periodically on and off, and never got a bite for bass. So yeah, pretty much it's my carp pond. Supposedly, I've seen him in here, but I don't know. I People have told me that the people that own the paddle thing that rent the paddle boats and that get kind of angry if somebody brings a kayak in here. So I don't know. I was thinking of like doing a paddle boat show. We can rent it over there, paddle over here to shore, and put the poles in it, and then go fish that island from a paddle boat. Because you can kind of, if you're on this side of the island, they can't see you from the, the, the kiosk in that where they rent them. So you come over here and hide on this backside on a slow day. Because if I was out here on a day like this with so many people, I'm sure somebody would go back and go, "Hey, there's a guy fishing off one of your paddle boats." But yeah, I have seen a kayak in here. The guy was fly fishing off it. I don't like kayaks. I don't know. Not a fan. I always just think I'm going to tip over. Well, if that was a crawdad, there's not many of them out there. So last time I got a crawdad bite, something I got, it was like, well, last Sunday it was like Monday. It was last Monday. I got that one bite and it was just nonstop from them. And a turtle. And I said I was just assuming that was that might have been a carp. I don't know. But at least something moved my line. As I was saying, oh, the data recovery. Uh, it didn't work. Yeah, it didn't work right to bear. I mean, I think it's the software. I have Recover, and I think it's like 10 years old. And I hit for an update, and it said I had the current version. So I don't even know if the company's. It's like my line's tightening again. I don't even know if the company's still around. They're on there. It recognized 100 files on there. So it recognized the files. It's just anything that was over, I think, 30 megabytes. Because three of them showed up and they were watchable. Three of them showed up and they were watchable. All the rest of them, the file is corrupt. Anything that was like, 200 megabyte, 300 megabyte, and it's happened before when I tried to recover with it. So I kept the disk. I'm not going to use that disk. I'm going to keep it. I'm using another disk, and I'm just going to get some more modern recovery software, and I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get it all off. I mean, it says on there. It shows it. It shows over 100 files on there, but it just, I don't know, for some reason it just won't recover a big file. But I said I think it's like 10-year-old software. Yeah, I think I have another crawdad playing with this. Um, well, Macro makes really good macro bait. I cut tons of mackerel on mackerel. I cut it into strips and I used it on a drop shot. They were hitting that thing the second it hit the water. I have to go do that. Exactly. I have to go do that. One day this summer, I'm gonna have to go do a live at wharf number 2, where the mackerel run at. Maybe I can get some sabikis and do a mackerel show. Mm, I think I have another crawdad playing with this. Maybe not, or hopefully not. Go tuna fishing. I like to be out in the ocean in a boat. I'm like a very particular fisherman. I'll go on a boat in the ocean and stay near shore. Oh yeah. Well, what do you expect? It's got like the most expensive real estate in Monterey. Beach is right there. I mean, there's a ballpark behind me. The wharf is like right there. Some some expensive real estate right here. Have a look here. Yeah, that's the type. Mackerel is the type of sushi. Hey, low budget. Yeah, I'm not. I just do the. Everybody wants me to go do a bunch more of it, but I just play around the beach sometimes. The pier. I've been to the wharf, but I just don't fish it much. I'm much more of a. Yeah, mackerel are fish, but mackerel, the way that he spelled it, I think that's a type of sushi. Instead of tuna, it's mackerel inside it. I'll be interested to see how JJ's Fishing Guerrero did today. I don't know if he's going to pop into this live or not, but he took the rental out with his son today at Pinot. So, oh, this is 6 pound mono. I fish light for the carp. I think that's all I've ever used for the carp. It's like 6 pound, 8 pound. I only use mono on my fishing pole, all my bass, everything, ocean, everything. It's all mono. It's what I started with. It's probably what I'll end up dying with. Corn again. No, I've caught 25 pound carp, 25 pound carp on 6 pound. It's totally. I mean, it's totally strong enough. You just know you're gonna fight them for like 30 minutes. Yeah, exactly. And it was 6 pound line he was playing with. Exactly. It's way strong enough. You just gotta have your drag set right. Like that one I had hooked that broke me. If I would have had that drag set right, he wouldn't have broke it. He would have just went to the other side of the pond, and I would have had to like play him all the way back. Uh, New York, where's that at? Yeah, well, when I get to the point that I can travel a lot, I'm gonna hit up a lot of places. I'm sure. I haven't even made it over to Santa Cruz, all the pier and everything over there. I need to go do a show over there. I said I just do the hot dogs. I said I fish what I can eat if it's boring. That's why I use the Hawaiian bread, the Hawaiian rolls for the cart. Because I eat half of them while I'm fishing for them. It's turning out good. The wind's shutting down completely. Now, if I can just get some activity, no wind is perfect line watching conditions. I'm going to check this thing again. Hoping to bring it in with nothing on it. Nope, full of corn. Yeah, I'm sure they'll eat it. I mean, carpy shad, carpy crawdads. I had a kid way back in the '80s. It's actually bad for the price, and it was like $1.98. I know. Isn't it $1.98 at Walmart? I think that's what it costs, like $1.98. Yeah, something like that. Oh yeah, I mean that's what's on here. I said the other line that I had on here, that green 6 pound mono, been on that reel for like 7 years. It still caught me all those show and those two carp shows I did. I think it might be Trilene. Hey, Indiana fishing. No, one bite. I got one movement. Pulled the line tight. Seen a few carp around. All right, Kate. All right. Well, thanks for stopping in. I know as summer progresses, my lives will get earlier because the sun will go down earlier. Let's say do a war. I said the wharf one. There's lights and stuff there, and you can stay there all night. Last time I caught all the mackerel there was at night. You just have to run the gauntlet of not getting eaten by the sea lions. They really, really like to eat the mackerel as you're reeling them in, but they only eat the big ones. Man, what the hell happened to this place? I thought it was my oasis for carp, and now I don't know what's up. Yeah, most of them mess with you until about an hour after dark, and then they seem to go away. Coyote, when I did that one at Coyote, it was they were just crazy. When I did a night show at Lexington, they weren't that bad. I have to do that too. I need to go back and do a night show at Lexington, but I think I'm gonna wait till later into the summer, maybe towards the end of summer. Let the water drop some more, so there's more area to fish around the dock. Passion for the hunting and fishing. How's it going? Doing good. Just taking a break from the bass since it's so slow most places. Well, anywhere I can go live, it's slow. Just got home. Yeah, I'll be going home after this. No, nothing yet. One bite. Perfect conditions for line watching. Yeah, I've only had one so far. I mean, it pulled it tight and bounced the rod tip, and then it just stayed tight. These are cloves. I smoke the Dejarms clove cigars. Although Chris doesn't let me smoke them in his boat anymore. We have to go to shore. I said I haven't got anything yet. I said it was just one bite. But usually I'm going for the carp here. Got my 6 pound line and my corn. 6 pound line and corn. Number six hook. Ooh, damn it. Line bounced and it was a damn little bit of wind that came up. Hit it just right and the line kind of jumped. Yeah, this is my carp killer setup. Or catfish. I use the same rig. 6 pound line, number six hook. Hooks them pretty good. I've tried number four, but I don't know. Oh yeah, that's been going on since the '80s. Of course, back then they didn't have filters. They also say that they have a ooh nice salmon. I've never caught a salmon. It's a bucket list fish. I've caught brown trout, brook trout, rainbow trout, but I've never caught a salmon. I think I no. One time I went out in the ocean here with my neighbor, and we were going for the sea bass. just want one good fish. Hey, Colorado Fisher, how's it going? Jack's bad. Jake? Sorry, Jake. Yeah, well, I'm around. I only fish like 6, 7 days a week, but I'm trying to jump it up to 9 days a week, but they won't change the calendar for me. My line looked like it tightened a bit. It tightens slowly. Get some what? Yeah, we. Well, there are mountains around here. I could probably go catch some trout. But I think in California. Oh, what's up, Akin? Haven't heard from you in a while. Uh, no, one bite. The carp are acting like the bass. They're just. It's like everything in lakes is slow right now for some reason. Except the catfish at use at except for the catfish at Uvis. I think those two catfish and the 6 bites I got has been the most I've had. Yeah, I've heard. I try. Yeah, I haven't heard much about it. I did talk to somebody that said there were 6 of them caught in a pool, uh, mid valley in the Carmel River. Uh, yeah, some of the striper went up the Carmel River. I heard last thing I heard they were heading south. We're catching them down more towards the wharf. But Ricardo left Pino yesterday, and he went to the beach in Santa Cruz to get striper. I know they do it in the Salinas River too. I caught one way up under Blanco Bridge one time, like about a 6 pound striper. Well, here though, you can go to St. Louis. We have them at the beach and we have them in the lakes. Yeah, it's when I first moved here, and I didn't know it was off season. It was, I think it was in July, and I caught on a spook. He like missed it 3 times, 4 times, and then he finally hooked up. And he took off down the canal, and he tried to like get into the reeds. Yeah, sure glad I didn't get caught. I didn't know. I didn't check the regulations. I just like took my bike at the time and I rode there, and also caught some carp there too. Yeah, it's been slow, and I said even evidently even the surf perch are slow. Everybody's been catching the jack smelt. At least in Marina Beach, it's all jack smelt, which I failed at miserably. Miserably. Of course, I didn't have sandworms. That was the difference maker. This is so weird. Double digit perch. Wow. What, 11 ounces? The new guitar. Yeah, what I was gonna say is this is weird. Like last Sunday, remember there were three of us fishing with five poles. We got one bite, three bites. And Sunday next day, I was getting the crap hit out of me by crawdads, and I caught that turtle. And now it's back to not even crawdads here. I don't know what's up with this lake. Nice. So I haven't fished for trout since they stocked it here, and before that, I hadn't fished for trout in like 10 years. When I was in slow, they were like in all the creeks in San Luis Obispo. You're not supposed to fish them, but you can catch a bunch of little ones. They do. They stock it in here a couple times a year. Yeah, but in slow, like block from my house, the San Luis Obispo Creek ran through, and I could go there and catch little like 4, 5, 6 inch rainbows in there on a little that a spinning reel just like that, but I put a fly line on it. It's all trees and everything, so it's really like yeah. I need to go down there and do a slow tour and actually fish that creek for the little trout. Runs right through the middle of town. Nobody thinks there's any fish in there, and then uh, Polly Canyon Creek and all the creeks that split off it. There's all kinds of little native trout in there. They just don't legally let you fish it, but I see kids down there fishing all the time. Oh, at my store behind it, the creek ran right next to it. That's because it's not legal. Actually, you can go down to the Air Force base or the military base, 400 Liggett, and you can fish in those creeks in there certain times of the year. But yeah, the creek ran right by my old clothing store, and there was a big pool down there. I caught one in there. It was like almost 2 pounds, like with the big hook jaw and everything on a spinner. The sushi place across the street during because they always have like they're open 11 to 2, and then they open back up at 5, and all the chefs and everything started going down there and fishing and catching a little trout and that on their lunch break, using little like power bait worms. This is not going as planned. It's like totally feast or famine here. You either have a bunch of bites and a bunch of things playing with it, or you have absolutely nothing. Put on some fresh corn. Maybe that'll do it. Yeah, it's warm in here. It's when the corn is warm. The water's like in the 70s. I can't see them putting trout in here. So they go into shock the second I hit the water. New corn. That's what we need. Get that stupid crawdad chewed corn off. pulled right through the corn. All right, let's try this again. Something's got to cruise by. Maybe I'll catch that monster. Big Bertha. Wind doesn't help. It's cold here right now, too. Oh, yeah, I fed him earlier. I fed the birds. Yeah. I wasn't going to do it because I thought, after all that crawdad experience, but evidently even the crawdads aren't here right now. It's like, it's a, I got that one bite, though. I thought, okay, something's here. Something's hanging around. Any turtle? No, I caught that one last week on Monday. Where I caught that western pond turtle, but I must have scared him away as I haven't seen him. Last week he was, I mean, he was coming up all over, and he came up right by me, and then that's when I ended up catching him. So maybe he learned his lesson. Maybe he learned his lesson, and he like took off around this area. Oh, coppers, guys, coppers! See him? They're right there. Oh, they're coming up to a car that's already stopped. That's weird. He must have lit him up. How'd that happen? The car he's walking up to has already been parked there for a while. Maybe they're trying to outrun him or something. High speed chase through the streets of Monterey. That cop, he had somebody right here too. He pulled him over right here in the parking lot. Just like, must about right before I went live, so it must have been an hour ago. He's an active copper today. He's pulling over everybody. It must be. Thought I heard a carp jump. Yeah, I said I saw some activity of the carp earlier. They were jumping. They're in the area. Oh my god, that's a glove floating by. I couldn't figure out what that was. It's like a plastic glove. Yeah, right to bear. You were on here. Remember? What, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, I caught those two carp. I busted that one off, and then I had the other one busted off, and I was trying to get him up. I was like, "Yay, they're still here! Good for live action." Not. I don't know what's up. Like, I couldn't tell what was up between Sunday and Monday. Sunday we got absolutely nothing, and Monday I just got slaughtered by freaking crawdads all day. So, like, why were they in here and why did they leave? Maybe we weren't feeding them enough corn. Hey, city kid hunting and fishing, how's it going? Welcome to Line Watching 101. Would it be more entertaining if I put a bell on it? And I could at least like step on the rod every once in a while and make some noise. I don't know. Man, all those swallows are out here like crazy. Bait and waiting, yeah. That's it. The stand and stare session. There's so many of those swifts out here. You can see them all over the water out there. I'm not even seeing any of the fry jumping like I did. A bass fishing show when I was here that day, and there were fry all over. I said, with this kind of fishing, just one fish will provide entertainment for like 20 minutes. Fun, pretty much. It's not as bad as Pinot, though. I mean, there's a lot of crap all over the ground, but the Tootsie Rolls are definitely more abundant at Pinto. Here, there's a lot more seagull crap. How is Pinto? Terrible. You can see it all over the ground down there. It's really slow right now. Super slow. Super slow. So I don't really need these on anymore. Yeah, it's just super slow. And not just for me. JJ's Fishing Guerrero was there on a Thursday for whoa, 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 whoa. Not a time for wind. I think my line just tightened up. Uh, Sorry, I'm a little distracted right now. Yeah, I did. Yeah, already got that one covered. I swear, I think one just pulled my line tight and started to bend the rod tip down. I can't see my line as good now as I took my glasses off. Yeah, I heard that story right to bear. It was like a 9-page article, and there's also a video on it. So yeah, I know about that. Of course, I've known about him for years. Yeah, I've known about him for years. So There was all kinds of talk about him back in the early 2000s. Oh, guys. I had one. Shit. Ah, yes, guys. I had one hooked. Yahoo. That was not a crawdad. Yeah, that's a good sign. I still have time. Yeah, I thought I saw it. It's a poo shark. Yeah, I had him hooked for a second. I felt his weight for a second. That was definitely not a crawdad. I got the corn on. Hopefully that was my rod just moving. It all of a sudden like shifted, but I think it wasn't set on the ground right. Oh man, that's what I said. You need to go buy some cheesy bells. Yeah, I mean, I would have. I don't know. I might have. I don't know. You hit right when that wind came up. It was hard to see. Well, I was explaining that thing about Mike, and then all of a sudden, I'm pretty sure I saw my tip start to go down. And then, yeah, that's. I said I don't know if you watched it when I set the hook. It actually my rod went down for a sec, and then at first I thought it was one of those birds hit my line. See right there, there's the little fish are hitting the surface. You want to really take off with it and actually hook itself. That'll be great. Yeah, I used to do the thing where you put the bobber on it. And you like hang the bobber like in the third eye down, so like when it goes up, it's a fish. That's what I said. I was gonna do a paddle boat show. So rent a paddle boat and then come over here and get my poles, and then go fish the island for bass. Flip. Yeah, I was saying I used to have those bobbers, and I'd do like the to hook them on. I would use the tie, for the bread, and put a little loop, and then every time I set the hook, I would lose them because I wouldn't take them off. I just grab the pole and they'd go flying somewhere. I'd be searching for like 30 minutes to figure out where the hell the bobber went. Most people walk up, and they take it off. And with me, it was like right, and all of a sudden it would go up really quick. So I just grab the rod, set the hook, and send the bobber flying. Well, it's not as fast as last time. Remember, I got that one fish, broke off, and then threw out, and I got another fish right away. Yeah, I said it. I would probably do that with the bell too if I had it on there. But the bell is like clipped on it. But that is just, it's just I just make a hook and you hang it on the line. It would start to come up from the fish, and then when I would grab it, and it would just do the tight, and usually it would send it somewhere behind me. It would usually be, I don't know, I'd have to go search for it somewhere behind me. Come on. I'm gonna have like one little friggin' nibble. I said if the wind wouldn't have come up and been playing with my line so much, probably would have been more ready before he actually hit the pole. It gives me hope. At least there was one fish around. I mean, if it's a crawdad, usually when you set the hook, you don't feel anything. It just rips it right out of their claws. And the turtle hasn't been around. So. I was thinking about magnet fishing in here. Pretty sure people have had to drop like cell phones and stuff off the boat. Who knows what you'd find in here with a magnet? Line watching 101. Like when I drop it. I always like it when they hit it and come at you and the line just drops. Come on, fish. Tell me there's only one carp in the whole area that found my bait. Usually they cruise around in schools. I just noticed that copper's still across the street. Dang it. It's going out. It's cold here, too. It's like 58, maybe? 57? I mean, I actually have the jacket on and the sweater underneath, and I'm still kind of cold. Come on. Running out of time, fish. Get your act together. Paid you good money to be here for this live. Yes, these are actually paid acting fish. Definitely not paying them next time. Where's that guy paid? He said he was a fish whisperer. He'd have a bunch of them here. Knew I shouldn't have trusted him. He looked homeless. Slipped him a 20. Oh well. Soon all these swifts are going to disappear and the bats are going to come out. No, I've never been out there. I went out there once to fish Los Banos with Ash, but that little fish just jumped right there. But yeah, I've never fished any of the aqueducts or canals out there. I've heard there's good fish in there. So I fished the forebay, as close as I've gotten. Comes in and out of them. It's starting to get that time where it starts driving your eyes crazy. It's like that twilight time when you stare at the rod and it just sort of kind of like starts looking like it's moving. This is just so weird. It's probably thousands and thousands of carp in here. Like, where do they go? I mean, all they got to do is, I mean, they're probably cruising around the whole time. I mean, even out there in the middle, it's only like 6 feet deep. You know, they're fat in here. They get fed all the time. Oh, I just thought about it. My friend I used to fish for carp here intentionally. The tournament guy, he used to fish on the Del Monte side. Over there, almost kind of by the pump. Somebody mentioned that earlier. What about the Del Monte side? Remember, that's where he took me one time. We were trying to fish for him here. I actually met him at Roberts because he was carp fishing there. But we're talking about that. Oh, guys. Come on. That might be a crawdad. Something's playing with it, though. Oh, more activity, more activity. Nope, that was not a crawdad, guys. Sorry, recording. Back in a sec. Yeah, that was tentative. It was pulling and lightning, but it pulled out enough that the rod moved. So figured I better hit him. All right, they're in the area. Birds have been fed. All right. If I get one now, if I get one this late, the fight's probably going to go on past dark. If it's of any size. Yeah, I saw. I mean, I saw it go. I saw the rod kind of pull down a little bit. And he was pulling on it, and then the rod actually, because of the way it's sitting on the ground, the rod actually kind of shifted a little bit towards him. And unfortunately, I thought he was there, but he wasn't. See, I told everybody it's like all the lakes are just dead right now. I said it's not just me. I've been there enough. I know that what I'm fishing, if they're biting, I'll get some bites. But just hasn't been happening. But I just did get. I've gotten 2 bites for the carp here just recently. It's like I know when to say when for the bass, but it's just funky everywhere. Okay, well I've got 1 bite. I'm pretty sure it was a crawdad, but this last 2 bites, since all the corn was gone, it's definitely carp. Oh, activity. Well, now we're getting wind. My line's super tightened up. So I always leave a little bit of bow in it. And now it's tight like a friggin' tightrope. Oh, did you see that fish right there? Another fish right there too. I just think it tightened up and now it's not moving. That's the sign of a crawdad. It's really hard to differ. They're jumping like crazy right there. They look like they hit. I think there's a crawdad holding on to it. And the wind again. Don't need the wind. It's hard enough to see my freaking line right now. I have to bring it down. I have to check this. I think it's a crawdad. Or it was a crawdad. I don't know. Might have been a carp that pulled on it. 2 corns still on there. Neither one of them are chewed. Crawdads will usually chew some of it. no matter what, usually one of the pieces, if you bring it back, it's going to be chewed on. Let's start bringing freaking lights out here. Yeah, I said all the lakes are just slow. At least slow for bass right now. Slack it a little more. Yeah, I do the slack, but sometimes, if you keep it tight, when they feel the tension from the rod, that's when they feel a little bit of the hook, and that's when they usually bolt and hook themselves. And that's how you often lose your rod. Ah, it's so hard to see it. So I've already educated some of these fish, I think. My original carp shell, they just took off with it no problem at all. Move this over a little bit. Not the time for wind. Well, at least there was something. Something that wasn't. Yeah, not this one. I lose this rod and it's $15. Invested like 10 years ago. Chili Family Adventures. Or Utley Family Adventures, sorry. How's it going? Makes it hard too, is every time I look at the screen, look back here, can't see anything. And it was $180 reel. By the way. Oh, I think it's getting too late. I think I have my line actually. Bring it over here. I'm getting further from my pole, but the only angle I can see the line is from over here. Swifts disappear. I think they close it. I think it's 10 o'clock. I think this park closes at 10. Pretty sure. I've seen people sometimes if they have a later baseball game, the lights will still be on, and they'll leave them on until like 9:30 sometimes. And there's if the lights are on, there's still people skating. Hey, why win now? It looks like my line is tight again. I can't tell if it's from the wind or not. I think it's from the wind. It's pretty tight to begin with, but my rod's not moving at all. It's definitely tighter than it was. Oh yes. Stop right there, car. Damn it. Oh, it's the Tesla guy again. Exactly. I can't tell. It's just kind of moving from the wind. It's definitely it's like tightrope tight again. But I don't know if he was messing with it. He's not messing with it anymore. So I guess so. I just can't. I can't see what's going on unless he just takes off with it. Right there. I do. I need some. I have my lights in the car. I have my lights I use for the ending my shows. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check this. This is tight. It's just straight tight right now. Guys, I got something. Oh, I don't know if that was a big ass. I didn't. It was fighting. I didn't feel like a crawdad. Whatever it was only like this big. It wasn't fighting. I mean, it was actually fighting. It wasn't. I thought it was gonna be a turtle. I guess he pulled it tight and he was just sitting there within his mouth. Keep your lights on. I can't see. Huh? I just had something on. Some sort of fish. If that was a crawdad fighting, it's the biggest crawdad I've ever had. Yeah, that was a crawdad. It was a big crawdad. It's hard to even see what I'm casting now. All right, guys. All right, guys. I'm in the run of the car. Watch my pole. If it starts taking off, grab it. Look, guys. I found my light. Helps a little bit. Helps a little bit. It actually does. I can now actually see my rod tip. Yeah, I don't know what that was I had. It was actually fighting though. I mean, it was like right as you reel them in, you just kind of it's like just little teeny taps the other way. But I don't know. Maybe that was one of the little hitch or something. I don't need a 40-mile-an-hour wind right now. Come on, nature. What are you doing to me here? Makes for good lighting over there, though. I like that. I don't know how long that light's gonna last. I don't know. My phone is still doing pretty damn good. Phone battery is still like a little less than half. It's still hard to really tell unless it really, really moves. At least I had something on my line. Oh. All right, now the bats are out. They just are. You can't see them. Now I'm gonna get bat bites. Bats always end up flying into your line. It's like nearly impossible. Oh man, like 5 bats just went by my line. It's not gonna help. Is I have a light on, so it's attracting insects. creating my own demise. Well, it's like blind man's fishing. It looked like my line actually, my rod tipped down. Fishing by braille. It's so hard. It's so hard to see it. It's getting even colder out with this wind. Oh my god. Usually the wind shuts down by now. Oh, my nose is starting to run. How long has it been now? Only 1:37. Whoa. A bat just hit my line. Told you a bat was going to hit my line. Oh, you can hear them. You can actually hear the chattering of the bats. I could hear them making their little noises. I'm going to the extreme to try and catch one. I don't know, even if I hook one, you're probably not even, you're just going to see my silhouette fighting it. Yeah, I think it's come to the point that it's pretty much impossible. I'm not even able to tell if I get one. If one takes off, it'll probably like pull my pole in. Oh, a bug just went right in my mouth. Oh, I had a crawdad on there. I can't even see my line to grab it. Yep. I felt him when I pulled it in. Oh well, at least I had a couple fish. One hooked for a sec. I can't even see to put it on here. All right. Let's hit the car. Oh yeah. See how sniffly I'm getting. Oh man, I got stuff everywhere. Done got stuff spread out everywhere. Luckily, I'm not parked too far away. Oh, it's gonna sit crooked for a sec. Till I get my trunk open. Thanks at the rod. Light like that. Now you can actually see me. Kinda intermittently. Ah. Okay. Okay. Turn that around. Stick those in there. Everybody's leaving. I don't blame you. Don't do that. That is not nice, right to bear. Ow. Ow. That jerk of the phone was my head hitting the right here. It nailed me right in between the eyes. The handle for the tripod. I went to grab my pole and I hit it right in the middle of my freaking forehead. Ugh. I can still taste that bug that flew into my mouth. Yeah. What kind of bug it was, but it was nasty. Ugh. Okay, guys. That was somewhat exciting. At least I got a few positives. 2 times the corn was gone, and that one time I felt a fish, and I brought something in. I didn't feel like I cried. It was fighting too hard, but whatever it was only like 4 or 5 inches long. So there is still hope for this place. I mean, next time I come down here, it'll be on like Donkey Kong, as Chris would say. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to try live at the wharf. You see, the wind like this at the wharf, it's behind you, so it's pretty magical. Not like the pier. Usually when it's coming down the pier, it's coming from behind at the wharf, and you can only fish the side that's downwind. Yeah, maybe I could do that sometime. Go out there and get some, try and get some macks, some mac rolls. Get some sushi for you guys. Live swimming sushi. It's kind of a cool background down here, though, with all the lights. I like that. And it helps to have that light. So you can actually kind of see me, half of me. Now the light's going out. There we go. Just brightened up. Lights are good, but even when you expect, I bought them at Marshall's for like $4. A set of 2. Oh, alrighty. Yeah, look, show tomorrow. And yeah, sorry, Right to Bear, about the show. I think it'll become a show, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to get online and see if I can find some better recovery software. I said it recognizes all of them. Oh no, it was a great show. It was so fun. I mean, spending the time going there and filming it, and then no, I said it's there. It's just that software. It's called Recover, Rucuva, and I've done it with photos and even a formatted disc in that. It always recovers the photos. And I said three of them that were like, one was 9 seconds, one was 10 seconds, and one was like 12 seconds. Those came back and I can watch them and they're fine. But everything it seems like above 30 megabytes or 35 megabytes, for some reason it corrupts the file when it pulls them off. So, but I said it's like 10-year-old, 11-year-old recovery software, and I said I hit the update, and it said I had the newest version. Like, really, they haven't updated in 10 years? What kind of thing did I buy? But yeah, I said I tried to recover something else too, and it did the same thing. It only pulled off smaller files. Yeah, yeah, I said recover. It was one of the cheap ones. It was like, I don't know. My mom lost all the footage of the last time she was with her dad, my grandpa, right before he died. And they gave somebody the card because there were some other photos from something that my stepdad took pictures. And evidently they like selected all and cut. And suddenly my mom's like, "Oh, you're here. Like, we have this footage of your grandpa. And it's the last time we were with him before he died. And could you like transfer the files? Because Alan, we don't have the." And I plugged it in and it said there was nothing on there. And she was like freaking out. And so I'm like, "Oh, I can get it off just so you haven't put anything else over it. It's all gonna still be there." And so I bought that recover and I got all the photos back. So I just need to get some newer recover. I said I have another disc that I'm using, another 32 gig disc, and I just took that one out of the computer. I have it in a little case, and it's just gonna sit until I can pull them all off. It worked. I said it's worked for every photo I've gotten off, and it works for any video file under like 35 megs, which is it's like it was less than like 15 seconds of video. It'll pull it off great. Anything longer than that, it just doesn't recognize the file. It pulls off like the ghost image, but it doesn't pull off the whole file. So it will be a show. And I still have that show with Chris coming up. And anyway, bass suck. I'm probably going to go try and film another lake this week. Uh, Possibly. Maybe I'll try. Now, the winds have been too strong to try the beach or actually film a show, not a live at the pier. It's just been horrible winds. They've just been, and that bringing, when you go to the beach and they blow right in it, that brings all the swell and the waves up, and this pond sucks even for carp at the moment. You just need to fast forward to like August. Let's like just skip July because who knows if it's going to be any better. It's just don't know. But not even here. I said a lot of the like they're having a tournament. The last tournament FLW is at Champlain, and all the pros are saying that it's fishing small. The fish aren't biting like they usually do, and they were saying that they had so much rain and everything else back there that it's even those lakes are in a funk at this time of year when they're usually really good. So hopefully we we get a summer fishing and all summer doesn't stay like winter as far as bass bites. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks a lot. Tuesday night hangout and a new show coming tomorrow. Uh, you'll find it enjoying right to bear. I'm pretty sure. I'll just tell you that. Right to Bear, you'll like the show coming up tomorrow. I was gonna try and put it up today, but it was taking too long to render, and I wanted to come live, so I just left it rendering. So yeah, enjoy it. That one's for you, Right to Bear, because you're the first person that's actually mentioned uh, anything about the content of it. So I think you'll enjoy it. But, thanks, guys. I'm out. Bam!